Hello, this is Spellbinder doing the commentary on this week's unfiltered news from the reality zone, where political correctness is not spoken here. Compiled by G.edward. As you see, and this week's comic strip is Sinkhole? What sinkhole? The national debt is so deep. Well, now for this week's headlines, starting with this. U.S. Rand Paul's filibuster forced a response from Eric Holder stating that the president has no authority to assassinate Americans not engaged in combat on U.S. soil. Really? That's the good news. The bad news is that the government's definition of combat is so loose that can be applied to non-violent activities, even speaking, writing, if it is claimed to benefit those who are in physical combat. Nothing really has changed except public awareness, which of itself is a good thing. And fourth, March 8th. And this goddamn, what is he? What is he that we have a president who can say he can kill you if you disagree with him? Is he a god? Is he running the world? Really? What is he? UN Security Council condemned North Korea's nuclear missile test last month and approved additional sanctions against them. Korea avoided its peace pact with South Korea and is threatening nuclear strikes in response to the planned U.S. military maneuvers in South Korea. Amazingly, North Korea's historic ally, China, participated in this vote. We don't trust the leaders of either North Korea or China. So could it be on alert for something fishy here? LA Times, March 8th. We don't know what they're up against. The United States is playing games too. We're all playing games. Video. Republican Senator John McCain, the rhino, Republican in name only, and Lindsey Graham, trash Senator Ron Paul, both rhinos, following his filibuster to prevent the killing of American citizens on American soil. Paul responds by showing the error of their assumption that just because we may have an enemy doesn't mean the Bill of Rights is null and void. The Hill, March 7th. Rhinos! You know what rhino is, right? I just said it. Republican in name only. That's what these people are. They're Democrats. They hate Americans. Fucking John McCain is fucking enemy of the country. He was a false enemy back then. He is now. And people believed him. He was a Republican. Evil. U.S. Another betrayal in Congress. The Republican-controlled House voted 267 to 151 to continue funding Obamacare though the rest of 2013. This in spite the GOP rants against the program. They could have stopped it in its tracks simply by withholding funds, but they didn't. That they are just as democratic. They're rhinos. I'm telling you, Republicans in name only. CNS News, March 6th. Venezuelan dictator Hugo Chavez died of cancer, leaving his country in shambles from communism. He promised to improve the living standards of his people, but instead delivered poverty, crime, inflation, and power outages. Chavez controlled every branch of government, including the military and central bank, national oil company, and the media, and any private business he wanted to expropriate. But all his power could not change the destructive nature of collectivism. What our government is doing the same. March 6th. G.edward, my hero. U.S. Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn sharply criticized Homeland Security Janet Napolitano for claiming that sequestration cuts would force TSA furlongs belonging in long lines at airports. Other things could be cut from the department instead, such as the recent order for $50 million. That's $1,000 for every uniform. In new uniforms. Why not just close the whole thing down and let the airlines handle their own security? Why? No one is more motivated for real safety than they are. CNS News, March 6th. Why didn't they just shut them down? $1,000 a uniform? Our military doesn't get that. What the hell is going on with that? Creatures of spending. Western-backed Syrian rebels. They're really Syrian rebels. They're mercenaries. Mercenaries took 20 UN soldiers as hostage near the Syrian-Israeli border, accusing the UN of assisting Assad in entering rebel-occupied areas. The U.S. agreed to give $60 million to the mercenaries, whose armed forces are rapidly expanding. Mercenaries, I'm telling you, they're mercenaries. Russian TV wouldn't be reporting this unless they were. March 6th. God damn it. We're being fooled. Don't you know? The USDA told Congress that sequester budgets cuts will result in cutting vital food to producers unless funding is restored. They're lying. Then it sent an email to the branch manager who asked for clarification, telling him that whatever cuts he makes, they must not contradict the USDA, the lying bastards' prediction of reduced services. In other words, instead of cutting waste and improving efficiency, the top priority is to cut services to make the public angry. The public angry, don't you see? So Congress will restore funding. Don't you see? This, incidentally, is the same formula being used by all federal agencies. Don't you know? They're using it as blackmail. Breitbart, March 5th. They're blackmailing you. Don't you know? Are you being stupid as sheeple are. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder tells Senator Rand Paul that he would not rule out a drone strike on American citizens on American soil. They will kill you. Don't you know what they're doing? It would be justified, he says, by the extraordinary situation. We are reminded that Holder engineered the fast and furious gun-running operation here in America and overseas. We think that guy was killed overseas, designed to create extraordinary situation of gun violence to justify gun control. Activist post, March 5th. Shocker. Many vitamin supplements are derived from GMO plant sources. National Security will tell you this. Or being poisoned. Every which way you look, you're going to die. Harry Dexter White, the chief American architect of the West financial structure after World War II, was a secret communist agent promoting the interest of the USSR, or is the USSA, while working within the U.S. government. This article is correct about the fact that but it makes a common error when it comes to explaining the significance. The reporter says that White created a capitalist banking system all in while of hating it. The truth is that he created a collectivist banking system based on the Soviet and fascist model, while telling everybody it was a capitalist system. Lies, lies, and more lies. Many still believe it, including the reporter of this article, Daily Mail, March 5th. Committee. Video. Christina Tobin. A Free and Equal Elections Foundation exposes the new top 2 state election laws that allow only 2 most popular candidates on the ballot. This effectively removes third parties from the ballot. It started in Louisiana, has been adopted by California and Washington, criminal states, and threatens to spread to other states and become criminal. Ben Swan, March 4th. U.S. Homeland Security Chief Janet Neapolitano threatens the airport security lines will take up to twice as long, claiming that the sequester budget will cuts will impact TSA's efficiency. Chicago Tribune, March 4th. Lies, lies, and more lies. Don't you know that they cut off, tourism of the White House? Even though that is voluntary? It is. The people that work in the White House to take you around and show you the White House is voluntary. And they're saying, we have to cut that. Lies, lies, and more lies. Communist government will prevail. Collectivism is working in America. Video exposes existent interim of camps planned for Americans on American soil. FEMA. They will be operated by military FEMA, the Department of Homeland Insecurity, and the UN, the foreign invader. Department of Homeland Security and the UN official documents tell the whole story, including the use of deadly force to prevent escape. And prevent escape on American soil, with you being one to be free. This shows that the camps are to be used for purposes other than emergencies and disaster relief. They're meant to incriminate you. Storm clouds gathering, don't you know? March 4th. You're being lied to. You're being killed. And you don't even know it yet. Gold Money investigates the gold holdings at the Bank of England and concludes that most of its claims of physical gold stores are fundamentally fictitious, which means they don't exist in their vaults or anywhere else. The day cannot be far away when gold run-on banks were exposed to con game and bring the financial world to its knees. Gold Money, March 3rd. You're being lied to. Paper is paper, no matter what you believe. Bank of America data leak shows that the bank has been gathering information on anti-Wall Street activists. The data was hacked from an unsecured server in Israel. ISIS, raw and ill. Story leak March 3rd. It's not God country, it is anti-God country with these fascists. U.S. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has funded a $100 million database in partnership with Carnegie corporations to track students' addresses, grades, attendance, and other personal information. They're spying on you. School officials are authorized to share this information with private companies who sell educational materials. You are a slave, don't you know? Reuters, March 3rd. Here is a compilation of stories from 1970s about global cooling in the coming ice age caused by man's pollution of the planet. Proposals range from outlawing the internal combustion engine to population control. It was a basic model used by the global warming myth makers of today. They're evil. They're lying to you. Popular technology, March 2nd. You don't understand it. They were saying everything was warming up. Now it's cooling down. And they're going to make money out of your pocket into theirs over it. Article of interest. Despite the eradication of smallpox decades ago, new smallpox-related infections are occurring once again. The reason is that the U.S. military vaccinates its soldiers for the disease before they are deployed overseas. And a few days afterwards, the injection virus can be transmitted to others. It's like the flu virus. You take the flu virus, you are infected. That's right. Smallpox is coming from the vaccine. Daily Mail, March 2nd. Don't you understand? The people who don't take the vaccine are safe, except around people who take the vaccine for a week afterwards. You're being lied to. You're being stupid. Utah is proposing a law to limit its police power of federal agencies within the state, particularly the Bureau of Land Management and the Forest Service. This movement is springing from the county's sheriffs who know they are the only ones who have constitutional authority to exercise police power within the states. Desert News posted March 2nd. The sheriffs are the power of the state, don't you know? Maybe you don't. Maybe you've been dumbed down and don't know. No one can balance rocks like this. It can't be done, or can it? Look at that. Click and be amazed. It's cool down time, don't you know? Here is the analysis video. This analysis by Ben Swan. Senator Rand Paul's 13-hour filibuster explains why Senator did it and why it's important to every American. Reality check, March 6. Remember, he did this while the rhinos were having dinner with the creature called Abomination. A future story in Time magazine exposes why healthcare costs are skyrocketing. It's because free market in health has been abandoned, which is due competitive pricing, insider deals, excessive administrative salaries, the government intervention which allows special interest groups to access taxpayer funds. Instead of solving these problems, Obamacare will make them worse, because people will be required to purchase insurance that subsidizes the broken system instead of fixing it. Don't you know? Business Insider. No video. U.S. police forces across the nation are becoming militarized. That's right, they're becoming SS. That means their traditional role of protecting citizens is changing to a new role of considering citizens as the enemy. Don't you know, SS? Germany's coming to America to be overpowered or eliminated. Here are recent examples. Watching television, Mark 4. Please let us see the humor in babysitting extraordinaire. Awesome. Humor for this week. Where's the remote? Says the bear on the couch in the cold. Gotta see it to believe it. And more unfiltered form. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to try to, after all this madness going on around us. Madness. Nothing explains it but madness. Until next time, this is Spellbinder saying be good at it, and good day.